Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 15th podcast. We finally got a guest. I know you were sick and tired of me and Owen, but now we got me and Owen and Nate Clifton. He's he's
Hello.
he's of our alumni. And yeah, he's got some interesting things to talk about. Not really, but we can talk to you. How have you been?
I've been good.
Good?
Yeah, just working.
Just working?
Just working.
That's all you do? You don't do anything. You just sit in the corner all day and just go, oh, work.
Yeah.
I got 2 speeding tickets. I can't afford to do anything else.
You want to talk about those speeding tickets?
Yeah.
You told us about it yesterday, but if you want to tell the people.
Yeah, so I got one in February, and that was funny. So I was coming out of eye doctor's appointment, and I was coming home, and I was like, damn, it's only like 1 o'clock. Like, I don't want to go home yet. So I was like, all right, I'm just going. So like I go right past my house, and I just pull on to Gans, and then I'm not even paying attention to the speedometer, and I just hit the gas pedal. I'm just going, and a goddamn police officer was like at the corner, like whenever the man's never there. I've never seen a police officer there. So like I'm just going, and then he pulls out right behind me, and I look my speed, and I'm just thinking to myself, shit.
Yeah.
So and then like they'll like follow you for a little bit before they actually turn their lights on.
Yep.
So like they'll get behind you, but they'll just follow you for a little bit. So like I'm going like 35, and he's just following. I was like, oh, maybe he's gonna let me go.
Yeah.
Because I never got pulled over, so I was like, oh, like this dude, then like right when you think you might, that's when the assholes turn their lights on. You're just like, shit.
Yeah.
So he pulls me over, and I hand him my insurance, and then he goes like, this is expired, right? And I'm just like, no, and I look at him, and I'm like, shit again. So then I didn't have my current proof of insurance. I had the expired paper, so that was
great.
That was great. So I paid the ticket that time, and then I end up coming back up from West Virginia, coming home. Right, I just passed Jackson, Ohio, on 35, and they caught me speeding again. And this is actually where I learned my license was suspended, because I didn't have that proof of insurance. I had the proof of insurance when I got pulled over that time, but yeah, he was like, yeah, your license, your license are suspended. I can't let you drive. And I'm just sitting there just like, shit. So then I have to on a Sunday, I have to call my dad, have him drive all the way down to fucking Jackson. That was fun.
Was he pissed?
Not really, but
We actually had to bail Nate out of jail. So
Yeah.
that never happened.
No, that never happened. I lied.
In his dream?
Yeah.
Never happened. I lied. So... Hey, what was I gonna say?
God, fucking lawnmower. I hope that doesn't pick up.
That's fine. So Nate, I know you're big Yankees fan.
A Yankees fan?
So
Hell no.
How do you think they're gonna do?
How do you think they can?
Well,
They're not beating I don't know. They're not gonna win their division.
they're not. Who's
might
gonna
be
win the
right.
division?
I don't even know who's in their division. Is Toronto in their division?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My money's on Toronto then.
The Blue Jays.
Blue Jays.
In 2 days from now, when this is being uploaded, the draft is happening.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
My team doesn't have a first round draft pick.
And who's your team? You want to tell the audience?
The Browns.
The first Browns fan on the podcast.
Hell yeah.
Took me a while to let somebody on that was a Browns fan, but I did it anyway for some reason.
Well, we had technical difficulties today.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, we did have technical. Shout out to... I'm not gonna even give you a shout out. Never mind.
A former guest that passed away.
Yeah.
Damn.
May he rest in peace. Read his book, Lord of the Rings, Part 5.
Flashpoint.
Lord of the Rings Part 5.
He didn't write any of the other ones. Some weird spinoff.
It's a weird spinoff.
What's I don't think we ever asked you. What's your favorite like cartoon?
Cartoon.
Like growing up.
Growing up, my favorite cartoon was Phineas and Ferb.
Really?
Yeah,
You seem like a Phineas guy.
Phineas guy.
Who's your favorite character from Phineas and Ferb?
Phineas and Ferb.
Mhm.
Perry.
Barry?
Perry.
Yeah,
That's a good character. Doesn't really say anything, huh?
he doesn't.
Yeah.
Nah, he just goes. "Grr, grr, grr, grr," you know.
That was a sick impression.
Right? Nah, but
Um,
he's always like, I don't know. It's like he'll just like let him. Like he just like he'll get trapped, and then he'll just like hear this like big ass story, you
Mhm.
know, just to make the dude feel good about himself.
Like, poor
And-
dude.
Yeah.
to hear to make it do the trick. feel
He
good.
doesn't. I don't think he feels better about himself. He has tragic backstory.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, but,
he's
but, but,
venting.
but like he'll just do that, and then like he'll get out of it doing like some like that stupid simple, and then he'll just press the freaking self-destruct button.
And it's usually how it goes.
Yeah, and that's normally how it goes. But it's like, you gotta think, why does he always put a self-destruct button on there?
Well, he's retarded. So, do you watch any animes at all? Are you an anime guy?
I watched I watched a few episodes of Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh, is that any
But
good? Is that like Full Metal Jacket?
I
Full
don't
Metal
think
Jacket.
I don't think it is.
It's not like Full Metal Jacket.
It's more like Platoon.
Oh, yeah, Platoon.
Yeah, Full Metal Alchemist isn't bad. I just haven't got around to actually watch it.
Yeah.
Keep watching it. So
Anime is the kind of thing you have to like get into and commit to it for a bit
yeah,
and then drop off because
Mhm.
it's hard to watch like other things when you're watching it.
yeah.
But yeah.
Did you ever watch like Kim Possible or any other Disney shows besides Phineas and Ferb?
I did. Like, I don't really remember much of Kim Possible.
Mm.
I know it was on. I know it was Kim Possible. But
Yeah.
I know I know Shigo was hot, and yeah.
You're right.
So we watched Fantastic Mr. Fox. Was that the first
Oh,
time you've
God.
seen that?
That was the first time I seen
We-
it.
You like it?
We did watch
Yeah.
Fantastic Mr. Fox last night.
Yeah.
George Clooney, best performance he ever did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised you haven't seen it either, right? I'm surprised you
No.
guys saw it for the first time because it used to be on Cartoon Network all the time.
And our buddy Andrew also never watched all of it.
Friday nights, yeah. I think only half of us. Well,
Yeah.
Grant hasn't seen it. Only me and Grayson have seen it.
Mhm.
More than once, too.
Yeah, there were 6 of
Um,
us that watched it. It was Grayson, Holden, myself, Nate, and Andrew and Grant. And it was pretty good.
Yeah. So it was,
I'm not usually one for stop motion movies, but that wasn't too bad.
yeah, I recommend Isle of Dogs, made by the same people. It's about the, so there's islands in Japan, like
Yeah.
trash islands, stuff like that, and there's an island full, it's what it's based off of. There's an island full of, like, dogs, and that's what it's kind of based around. Bryan Cranston's in it, so.
Okay.
That's a really good one. That came out, like, a few years ago. It's pretty recent.
All right.
Yeah, the movie we watched before then, you weren't for.
No, I wasn't.
We watched
Cinderella 3.
3.
I didn't even know there was more than one.
Yeah.
Cinderella 2 wasn't very good, and then 3, I remember for some reason before we watched 3 I remembered the plot of 3 better than I remember the plot of 1.
Really?
I don't know. I think it was the most recent one I watched from like 10 years ago.
Oh. I've only seen one.
And that's when I said before we watched 3 I was like, yeah, one of the stepsisters is good in this, and you guys were like, wow, you spoiled the whole movie. And I was like, oh, sorry.
I guess you didn't kind of because it wasn't a big plot point. I thought it'd be. I thought it was an interesting idea, but I wish that was a bigger plot point
Yeah.
because I thought it.
I remember it being bigger as a kid. I was like, whoa, that's a huge plot twist.
Yeah, but in the movie itself, it wasn't really focused. It was like Prince Charming didn't care kind of
Yeah.
the entire time.
He's kind of a butt boy.
It's like a shitty spell. Like spells usually turn people, but the spell didn't work.
Prince Charming didn't even care.
No.
That's how they
Yeah.
get you.
It's how
That's
they
how
get.
they get
That's
you.
how they get you.
A cooler plot would have been like both stepsisters are like fighting over him, but he's in love with both of them. needs to pick
It
one.
would have been interesting. Maybe they do that for Cinderella 4.
Yeah, we gotta see that. We'll make Cinderella 4.
Mm-hmm.
When did 3 come out?
You can look it up if you want. I think it was the
Joe Rogan.
60s, maybe.
60.
Really?
Yeah.
What the heck is that old?
Well, Cinderella old is older than that. The first Cinderella is older than that.
Really?
Yes.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
2007.
Never mind. look up the first Cinderella.
I know Snow White's the oldest.
Yeah, Snow White.
That show's like 1930s.
Mm-hmm.
What? Oh, 1950.
There you go.
It said 2015 because of the
So,
live action.
Yeah, okay, so the original Cinderella was 1950. And
When did 2 come out?
I just assumed that Cinderella 3 was,
2 came out in 2002. So they made the sequel way late.
Why?
Man, why are they making the sequel that late?
I have no idea.
They got them 50s babies, and they can like, man, can't wait for that sequel.
And then
50 years later,
Fucking
man,
did,
finally came out.
It came out 4 days before my birthday. Before I was born, it came out.
They're like, this will be a great idea. Holden will never see this coming.
What the heck is this? A dream come true. Cinderella 2, a dream come true.
Oh, yeah.
But
how'd they both do critically acclaimed wise?
oh yeah.
Can't imagine it was good.
No. Probably not. Most
11. Well, this is Cinderella 2 is very toss up. 4.9 out of 10 on IMDb, which is average. 11% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is terrible. But 4 out of 5 on Common Sense.
Interesting.
So someone thinks it's really good.
I thought 2 was garbage as well.
I love
And
2.
3 got like a 6 out of 10, and it's like a C.
Yeah. How'd it do on the other stuff?
Like money.
Or no, just Rotten Tomatoes and all that.
Oh, 75% Rotten Tomatoes
Okay.
and 6
So-
out of 10 on IMDb.
Okay, so based off of critics' opinions, I usually don't go off critics' opinions, but I'm right. So,
Nick.
but yeah, usually if you in the early 2000s, Disney movies were kind of frowned upon for some reason. One in particular was Treasure Planet. It kind of went under the radar, but it was an amazing movie. And then Cinderella 2 obviously came out in the early 2000s.
I don't ever remember watching Treasure Planet.
We should watch that because Holden's never watched it either.
I've seen Treasure Planet.
Oh.
I know I've
Okay.
seen it. I just don't remember ever. I don't remember any of the plot points. Ain't like Milo the like main character?
Milo?
Milo.
Yeah, ain't that the guy? Or is that like?
No.
Or is that like the
You're
Atlantis
thinking,
one?
you're thinking of Fish Hooks.
Fish hooks.
Yeah. You remember that? He voiced by Corey in the House. No.
Cornhouse, very underrated show.
Yeah, it is. Fucking, what was the guy's name? It wasn't Milo. It was like, I don't remember, but yeah, I'll look it up actually. Just look. We're on our phones looking stuff up right now.
Yeah.
You guys could talk about something while I'm doing this.
You've seen Lost City of Atlantis, right?
No.
If he hasn't seen Treasure Planet, he hasn't seen Lost City of Atlantis.
That's the one I like a little more.
The
But-
Lost City of Atlantis.
Yeah.
I think I like Treasure Planet more.
But they're both pretty dang good. 90s anime. The 90s was like peak.
I know.
All right, you look up Treasure Planet because I can't find it. My phone's not working.
Ain't there like some hot chick in Atlantis?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, I just know that because
One girl.
yeah.
But anyway,
I mean,
yeah, the animated, no, I mean, look up the main character's name. That's what I was trying to get at.
Jim Hawkins.
Yeah, Jim. That's his name, not fucking Milo.
Joseph
Milo.
Gordon-Levitt played him. I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Yeah, cartoon movies back from Disney specifically back in the early 2000s didn't do well. They weren't really noticed. They were all under the radar. That's why Cinderella 2 didn't do very well, and that it wasn't that very good anyway, because it was a sequel coming out 50 years after the original. The third one somehow was really good though. Yeah, they didn't do well mainly because of the big box office movies coming out, such as like Harry Potter, Spider-Man came out around that time, and then X-Men and fucking Star Wars. Even though the prequels.
You're thinking of Atlantis, by the way. That main character is
Speaking
Milo.
of cartoons, me and my mom just finished watching Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just want to say,
Nate told me about this yesterday.
I just want to say that beach episode single-handedly got dudes into toxic girls and probably raised pedophilia.
Raised, but
Probably.
that's how a lot of the funny thing with that's how a lot of just like anime is.
And raised pedophilia.
It's anime is very sexualized.
Well, Avatar's not an anime.
Of younger, but there's a lot of Japanese animators and influence.
but it's not
So
anime.
they took a lot of influence probably from Japanese anime because that's in that.
Yeah, but it's an American cartoon,
Well, yeah,
so it's not anime.
I said influence.
Yeah,
I didn't
influence.
call it an anime.
You called it an anime. You implied it was by saying in anime. There's a lot of
It was funny. I seen this
Well,
meme.
no,
yeah.
just reference.
I seen this
If I were to
picture.
call it the anime, I would call it an anime. Not saying
I seen this
in
anime. I seen this picture, and it was how the assassination of Franz Ferdinand led to the creation of anime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's funny.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what I was gonna say. But Los Atlantis is pretty good. That's one I'd recommend. I'd say '90s was peak of Disney's success of.
Yeah,
Those
because what all
movies.
came out? I think what the Beauty and the Beast come out in the 90s.
No.
I
Oh,
don't think so.
when did that come out?
Um,
Wait, what came out in the 90s?
Aladdin.
Actually,
Aladdin, The
For sure
Lion
Mulan.
King. Mulan did come out in the 90s.
Yeah, Mulan came out.
The Lion King.
Was Pocahontas 90s?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Pocahontas, yeah.
Lost Atlantis and the other one were early 2000s, but that's coming off of the 90s.
Weren't they
Craze.
like different because they were computer animated or something like that?
No. Treasure Planet was the first one, computer animated, because they did half animation and half CG, and
And
it
the scenes.
it kind of actually it actually looked pretty good. They spent a lot of money on the movie, and it didn't really perform well, which is unfortunate, because it is underrated. Another good movie, I don't know if it's Disney, but Iron Giant, that came out in 2000.
I've never heard of Iron
You
Giant.
never heard of Iron Giant?
No.
Really? That's a classic.
That's probably one of the best movies, not of all time, but like one of the best animated movies of all time.
See, one of my favorite Disney movies is Hercules.
Hercules was good
Yeah.
too. That's 90s as well.
I love Hercules.
Emperor's New Groove.
Emperor's New Groove, that's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah. Tarzan.
Tarzan.
Kronk's
You know
movie?
you actually see someone hanging in Tarzan? Like you see their feet, but like they got hung.
I bet.
Yeah.
You probably.
Dude, the Tarzan's kind of dark because
I
then you
mean,
also see
Mulan, there's-
you also see the dead bodies of his parents in the very beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, dude.
I like the
Damn.
live action one with Brendan Fraser.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wasn't that George of the Jungle?
No,
Oh.
there's a Tarzan with him. But what's it? Also Looney Tunes with Brendan Fraser. It's pretty good too.
God.
Was it Back in Action?
Yeah.
1999 cinematic masterpiece, The Mummy, starring Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz.
Yep.
The old mummies were good too. I know they made a new one with Tom Cruise for some reason.
I never
and that
seen
did
it.
Terrible.
It did terrible.
Yeah.
The Mummy.
Yeah. There's like if you try to reboot anything, it's 90% of the time gonna fail.
Yeah. It didn't make sense with Tom Cruise even.
Mm,
I think Tom Cruise is even older than Brendan Fraser.
yeah. He looks younger though.
Yeah, Brendan
Yeah.
Fraser. He is not that muscular guy he once was.
Yeah. He got blacklisted or whatever.
So we could also talk about baseball, I guess, a little bit. We talked about it a bit last week, but Nate, I don't know what team Nate likes, but
Cleveland?
Cleveland or Cincinnati, one of the two.
Well, I kind of pull for both since they're in different leagues.
Yeah.
So they really don't. See, if they were in the same league, then I'd be forced to pick one.
Yeah.
But since they're like in different leagues, I'm kind of like, well, I kind of just pull for both. So I
Mhm.
kind of pay attention. So I normally just pay attention to whichever team's doing better at the moment.
So Cleveland.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I haven't really been paying much attention to Cleveland because I just assumed they were gonna be bad this year.
Cleveland actually is not doing very well, but Cincinnati's doing way worse.
Well, yeah.
But the thing is, I do
Probably the
like
worst
I do
team
like
in baseball actually now.
yeah Cincinnati. They do got a what is that Hunter Green though?
Hunter Green's starting the night, and he posted saying he wants fans to come out for his first start.
Yeah, I'm not going.
And it's so unfortunate because like
Dude can throw.
you feel bad for him, but like it's not his fault. Obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I seen his last game. He threw the most pitches over 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Votto like posted
Ripped to his shoulder.
Votto was painted in all green, and he said Green Day because it's Earth Day today. The day we're recording this is Earth Day.
Yeah.
And he's pitching on Earth Day, and his last name's Green, so Green Day.
The band.
Yeah.
Billy Joe.
Yeah, Billy Joe.
Did you say Billy Joe?
That's
Billy
the lead
Joe
singer.
Armstrong.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's the lead singer's.
Billy Joe Armstrong.
That's his name.
Yeah, but he just said Billy Joe. So.
Yeah, that's how everyone refers him to.
No.
No
Billy
one
Joe
really says Armstrong.
Gotta do the whole thing.
I've never heard someone say Billy Joe Armstrong.
You just did.
But yeah, the Reds, I feel like just need to sell
The owner
Or
needs to
90.
sell the team.
to have any success.
Yeah.
He's a trash owner.
Yeah, I feel like Green at this point, if it stays the same, Green probably won't be there very long.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean,
No.
if he's good, he's probably want to get paid and go to a team that's gonna pay him.
They're probably gonna have to trade him. Right? Just like that India, he's probably gonna get traded he's probably
Yeah.
gonna get traded because this guy's a fucking cuck. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
it is what it is.
And Votto's gonna retire without anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
without anything to show for it.
Unless he goes to the Blue Jays, his homeland for 1
Well,
year.
he just got American citizenship, so
Yeah, I saw that. I'm surprised he didn't have it for that long. He was
Me
on a
too.
work visa.
yeah.
That's a long time to be on a work visa.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What if it ever expired? Will that technically make him an illegal citizen, like some illegal Canadian?
I think so.
Probably.
He would have to have been released, pretty much,
Yeah.
by
That
the
would-
team,
That would suck.
and then they take him to Toronto.
Hey, no one cares about illegal Canadians though. So
True.
No, they care about Americans going in.
Yeah, that's probably more so what they what their focal point is with that border is they don't care about Canadians leaving Canada. They care about Americans entering Canada just because there's more people from America going into Canada. So, that's what the Border Patrol is more worried about.
fair.
I mean, yeah, at this point, no one really gives a shit up there because Canada kind of sucks right now.
As you're wearing a Blue Jays hat.
Yeah, well, teams don't suck, but the place sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the players
Well-
on Toronto aren't even Canadian.
There's
Oh,
some-
I think all of them aren't
There
Canadian.
are parts of Canada that aren't too bad. I don't mind British Columbia that much.
I would like to go to
The
Vancouver.
western side,
Vancouver
British
would be
Columbia.
fun to go to.
yeah. The eastern side is a little where it's kind of
I
bad.
heard Vancouver's the most expensive city in Canada.
Really?
I'm not
Yeah.
sure if that's true, but
It is.
It is?
It's like the LA of Canada.
like the LA of Canada.
Mhm.
West Coast everywhere in the world is more
The
expensive.
cold LA of Canada. No, it's actually, I hear it doesn't really get as cold there
No.
than other parts of Canada.
It's like right above Washington, so it's alright.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, it's only like an hour some drive from Seattle.
Yeah.
I
Um,
assume. I've never
and-
been.
It's probably a little longer.
And Ontario's not too bad. It's just fucking.
Ain't that where
what's-
Toronto is?
Yeah.
Yeah, Toronto's a very American city if you think about
What's
it,
The
because they take almost everyone's. It's very English and Americanized because it's right there.
Montreal is a very French city.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to think of the
Quebec.
Quebec. That's
Quebec.
Yeah.
That's Quebec's probably the worst part of Canada.
Yeah. Unless you speak French.
Mm, yeah. Well, I just don't like it.
Yeah.
Just don't like Quebec.
Newfoundland.
Newfoundland's alright.
Prince
not
Edward's
really-
Island.
Much
Prince
there.
Edward Island.
Yeah.
The smallest province in Canada.
Nothing really there either. Canada. is an interesting place because it has more it's way more diverse than us even.
Yeah.
Because they're very open to other people pulling up. Besides us, kinda. Which sucks, but yeah. With Americans, it's actually kind of tougher for us to get like dual citizenship anywhere else, vice versa.
Yeah.
If you're trying to get dual citizenship here with your homeland nation, which is BS.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Why are you trying to get dual citizenship somewhere?
He's talked about
Not
it.
particularly right now, but like Europe would be cool.
Yeah. Holden wants to be an Italian.
Yeah.
An Italian.
Mm-hmm.
Italy's probably one of the better European
I
countries. Right now.
I swear, my mom, she was adopted. I swear the family her biological family, I swear they're Italian. She can't talk without her hands. Like if you hold her hands down, she can't talk. She just stutters.
Must be someone.
Yeah.
So it's like she always talks with her hands.
Yeah.
Like this.
We're doing like a weird motion. You guys can't see it. It's like
It's just the Italian,
Yeah.
typical Italian motion.
But yeah,
Uh,
there's a lot of stuff we do on the podcast that are like that stuff
Visual
that
needed?
you can't see.
I mean, yeah, but it takes like a slightly educated chimp to know to infer what we're doing.
Well,
I don't think it
We'll have our viewership's not gonna understand. 'Cause they're less than educated chimps.
Borderline. Yeah, our viewers are.
Actual chimps.
Yeah. The Columbus Zoo, they're all our viewers.
Bro, I just went to the zoo last week. And
They're watching the bagel.
they're listening to the bagel. They were all sitting around the thing. There's like hoeing going on, like blah blah blah, and then they just hear just blah blah blah. I'm not sure if you guys had a guess at it. I'm pretty sure the guest was probably going blah blah blah.
And the monkeys were going woo.
Yeah, the monkeys were going woo,
actually-
throwing their shit around.
This was probably episode like 8.
Eating bananas.
Episode 8.
Yeah, that's what they were listening to.
Yeah, we had 15,
The monkeys love you guys.
15 episodes so far. We're
That's it.
3 away from being an adult.
Yeah, 1 away from being able to drive.
Yeah, so it's we have our learner's permit right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a while, Nate. You're a weirdo.
Yeah.
What's the weirdest thing you ever done?
Worst thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
So there's just I was camping one day. Like I was just like
Just
I was at a
one day?
campsite, and like I was driving around on a golf court. Not a golf course, but on a golf cart.
Yeah.
And there was this like bathroom, and I was like, I opened up the door, and I'd seen like it was dark and dirty, and I was like, ain't no way I'm going in there.
Yeah.
So I go around the side, and I just start not
Doing your business.
I start peeing, and then like I hear a door open from the other side. I didn't see no one go in. I just hear the door open, and there's just a woman, and she just walks out, and there I am just like pissing on the like. And I should have went further because I was like, because it was I didn't think about it. It was just a fence. That was
Yeah.
So I was like, oh shit. So I
Yeah.
gotta get out of here, but I'm in like midstream. I can't stop.
You could just run while you're pissing, right?
Yeah.
That's how you piss on yourself.
That's when you back up. You run
No,
backwards.
you run backwards, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see, I wasn't about to run backward. I wasn't thinking about that. I was like 12.
Yeah.
So she would have been a pedophile if she would have saw you.
Yeah. So that's her fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's not really embarrassing for you.
Yeah, because it would have
I
been.
mean,
Well, you didn't finish.
I
the story.
pissed myself.
Oh.
I pissed on myself.
Alright, well.
Well, maybe she's into gold showers, so she's a weird pedophile.
He's into cold showers.
It's golden showers.
Oh,
Golden
showers.
showers. My cousin was yelling that in the restaurant one day.
Golden showers?
Yeah.
Oh.
Was he in the bathroom?
No, we were just in the dining room.
What, he was beating on someone in the dining room? Golden
No.
shower?
That wasn't me. No, someone asked him if I have a cold shower or golden shower, and he just started yelling golden shower. He didn't know what it meant though.
Oh, was he like a child?
No, he's almost a year older than me.
What? And he doesn't know what a golden shower is?
But that was also when I was like 12.
Oh my god.
so he was
Did everything happen when you were 12?
He'll be
Kinda.
15 next week.
Kinda.
Yeah. JFK was assassinated.
20
I was also 12.
Everything that happened in my life, I was 12.
So that was like 2014, right? When you were 12. Right.
about.
So that's the best year in the world.
Of 2014.
Yeah, 2014 is the
What
best year
happened
of
in
2014.
2014?
12 was a
We
weird
met.
age. 12 is a weird age.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, you're a weird age.
about. And Nate nodded like he agreed.
Yeah.
When do you turn? When's your birthday?
January 17th?
No,
18th?
no. January 25th.
God damn it.
Oh, you could have kept going up.
I literally, I think I named our friend Spencer's birthday.
Oh,
But I knew it was in January.
Yeah, mine's January.
Mm-hmm.
so you're 20?
Yeah.
Big 20-year-old.
Yeah, big 20-year-old.
Oh my god.
But
You just jerked him off as we speak.
as we speak. What's your favorite movie of all time?
Favorite movie?
Ooh,
No,
that's a tough one.
that is tough. That is tough.
You'll think about it for a few minutes.
Blazing Saddles.
Blazing
Oh, really?
Saddles.
With Gene Wilder.
I've never heard of that.
Really?
You never
Gene
seen
Wilder's in it. You
It's
know
a-
him?
No.
He used the original Willy Wonka.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That was a funny movie.
It's like a
Well, I would say
comedy
that was,
western.
Well, I would say that was the
Say.
funniest movie I've ever seen. I don't know if
Yeah.
that would be my favorite. I have a lot of. I don't know. I really don't got a favorite.
Okay.
I mean,
Pretty
that's
much
a good
just
one
one-
to pick.
Pretty much, I just watch whatever I'm in the mood for.
We'll list that as your favorite.
All right.
That's a really good.
That's-
That's one
that's-
you should. I think you'd like it. It's like a comedy. It's like Airplane,
Okay.
pretty much. That kind of
I-
slapstick
Oh.
comedy.
Have you seen Airplane?
Yeah.
That's a funny movie too.
Yeah.
Airplane's great.
Yeah, I think my favorite scene in Blazing Saddles when they're dressed up as the KKK,
Mm.
and then Gene Wilder pulls out and like, "Hey fellas, look what I got!" And he pulls out the black sheriff, and the black sheriff goes, "Where the white women at?"
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Or the I can't say it, but the grandma. Remember, he's walking in the town, and the grandma goes, "Up yours."
God.
Well, he just pulls up. He just like everyone's pulling a. It's like right when he comes in, everyone like has your gun pointed on him, and
And
then
he puts a gun at
he
himself.
points a gun at himself,
Yeah.
just like I'll do it. I'll do it.
I'll
And-
kill your shirt.
And there's like, I don't think he's joking, guys.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
He holds himself hostage.
Yeah, the railroad. That's a good movie. But Click. You love Click.
God. What's your favorite Adam Sandler movie?
Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah.
I just watched the one where he golfs. Which one's
Happy
that?
Gilmore?
Happy
Happy,
Gilmore.
yeah.
I just watched that one not too long ago.
That's my favorite.
You
Happy
like
Gilmore.
Click.
Mm.
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy.
Grown
Billy
Ups.
Madison.
Yeah, Billy Madison.
What's the one movie where I forget which scene it is. I'm pretty sure it's an Adam Sandler movie, but the guy goes, "I think I just shot myself."
Oh yeah, and everyone goes, "I think he just shit him."
Is that Billy Madison?
I think it's Billy Madison. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Billy Madison.
Well, you said everyone in here is now dumber for listening to that.
Yeah.
And Bedtime Stories. We almost
Bedtime
voted on that
Stories.
yesterday.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
I never seen Bedtime Stories.
Really? That's a good one. That's a little more like it's comedy, but it's kind of heartwarming. It's like Click in a way, because Click is comedy, but it has like an undertone.
And
not-
Sandler also always has the same women in all of his movies.
Yeah.
It's always
I like how
Drew
it's-
Barrymore and it switches
Aniston.
a lot. Aniston. Switches.
The one in
between those two.
the one
His wife's in a lot of them. Never really his wife usually. though.
What
Yeah.
what's her face? The one fuck we just had. Which one's the golfing one again?
Happy Gilmore.
Happy
That
Gilmore.
girl?
Yes.
Oh,
She-
that girl.
she's not. I think that's the only one she was in.
Pretty sure.
That's
Her and
yeah.
Billy Madison. are
that
two
was
different ones.
what Julie Bowen. She played. She was the mom in
Julie
Modern
Bowen.
Family.
I think so.
Modern Family? Oh yeah, she was.
Yeah, she was Claire.
Good call, Nate.
I haven't seen Modern Family in forever. That
Me
was the show that would just be on the TV randomly.
Yeah.
You like get the shit off. Dude.
Well, you didn't like Modern Family.
I didn't hate it, but it was like it was always on.
Did you like Modern
in the
Family?
middle
I
of those
did.
like
I'm not
seasons?
gonna lie, I did like Modern Family.
That was a show I never seen like thoroughly through.
How
That's
many
funny.
seasons did it have?
Like 11.
11.
Yeah, it was fucking long.
It was on forever.
I just remember the kid, the old dude, and Sofia Vergara. The old dude
Sofia
from Married
Vergara.
with.
Married with Children.
Yeah, the dad is in it. He's super old. And,
Sofia Vergara.
Yeah, and then their son, Mango.
Manny.
Yeah, they called him Mango.
They did.
Yeah.
I never. Manny.
What
Yeah, I like that show.
It was an interesting show.
Yeah.
The gay couple.
The
reminded-
gay couple.
reminded me of you and yourself.
Just him and himself. Him and his right hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cam and Mitch.
Yeah. Bitch and ditch.
Yep.
Would
Very
you,
funny.
if you could be an animal, what
Animal?
would you be?
A small dog.
A small dog?
Yeah, because when women hold them, they hold them next to their boobs.
So you're just hoping that would,
That
by
would happen.
chance, happen.
Yeah.
What if fucking
Literally,
old-
monkeys can
what
like
if,
run and grab
What
and
if
stuff.
That's assault, brother.
if-
You're gonna charge the monkey in court?
What if you're a small dog but an old fat guy has you as a
Yeah, and you're like, I'm
At
tits
that,
right now.
see, if I was gonna be a small dog, I'd be a bird.
What?
if you
What
could-
kind of bird? There's so many fucking birds.
a
I'd be
blue jay?
a pigeon.
A pigeon?
Yeah, so I can.
They just go around in the city walking around.
That's like with the
But they also fly. So like they
Kinda.
can fly, but then like you can cuss someone out too.
No,
Yeah.
you're thinking of parrots.
Yeah, parrots
Parrots.
cuss people
Oh
out.
yeah, then a parrot. I'd rather be
Oh
a
my
parrot.
God.
Plus they look cool.
Yeah.
They're colorful.
A pigeon?
A pigeon, no, not pigeon.
Those are like the city birds.
Yeah.
That or a seagull, because I like the beach.
It's like the
seagull?
beach.
Yeah.
Other birds go to the beach too.
Yeah, but not like the seagull or a pelican.
Pelicans are cooler
Pelicans are cooler.
than seagulls. Seagulls shit everywhere.
They're both meh.
Cranes are pretty cool.
Both are in
Toilets?
That was a Toy Story, but it's,
Oh.
And bald eagles
it's
are
Finding
cool.
Nemo.
Huh?
Bald eagles, they just pose.
Yeah, they're the symbol of our nation,
Mm-hmm.
so this would be cool.
Cardinals are the symbol of our state.
Yeah. And Arizona.
And Arizona's.
No. For some reason, even though they don't have Cardinals there.
One of the stadiums that are in a suburb and not a city. So, the more you
Yeah,
know.
in like Glendale.
Yeah, it's in a suburb. That and the Coyotes. It's just this little shell. It's like if Polaris had a professional team.
Had the like Blue Jackets.
Yeah.
So,
Um,
all right.
It's weird when like professional teams are in the suburbs.
It's weird when the professional team ain't even in the same state that it's named after.
Fucking
Yeah.
Jets and Giants.
Yeah. Shout out to
New
them.
York.
Nope.
Yeah, screw them.
Joyzy.
New Jerseyans.
Mm-hmm. MLB was talking about expanding its league,
It was.
and they're like, "What teams should we include?" Like they posted about it. One of the MLB accounts did, and they said, "What cities should get a team?" And then the top comment was Cincinnati and Oakland,
Bobs.
What?
because they're terrible.
Yeah,
feel like
that's a good one.
I feel
That's
like
a good joke.
Vegas is a very popular spot for
I would see
for
that.
sports
A lot of-
teams to expand to.
A lot of people said Nashville because Vanderbilt is the top college program.
Yeah, I could see Nashville.
Oregon
Oregon.
could
Portland.
use a professional team.
Portland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I liked
Jersey.
also,
Who
when
wants
I-
to go to Jersey?
Yeah, but still, who wants to go to Vegas?
That's true. What I liked was Omaha because there's history in Omaha, that city, for baseball. And Nebraska doesn't have a professional team either.
That would be cool. It's just Nebraska's market, like,
Not huge.
yeah,
Not a huge.
It'd be
market.
like another Kansas City. It'd be the Kansas City of the North.
yeah.
But our teams, when they expand, are they really looking to expand to another small market?
They try to make, like, the reason Vegas happened, the reason the Golden Knights started, because the Golden Knights started all this more so than the Raiders.
Well, yeah, because the Raiders aren't an expansion team.
When they started in there, it was almost like an experiment to see what Vegas and betting and stuff like that.
Can a sports team work in Vegas?
Yeah, and betting is now more lenient thanks to pretty much hockey
Mhm.
starting it. And now betting in football makes more money than all the other sports, so now it's like insanely prevalent. Which isn't really great for the sport,
No.
but it's great for money making.
Yeah.
It's probably arguably worse for the sport.
A lot of people though were saying the Expos should just come back.
Yeah,
That'd be
Expos.
cool.
Yeah, that would. Well, they were in Montreal Expos.
It had a
and
cool
they-
logo.
And they moved to Washington. And they won a World Series there 10, 15 years later.
Did they win a World Series as the Expos?
No.
No.
Oh, so
They were good the year
USA's better.
that the
Capital of America.
Yeah.
Toronto has
They-
a couple.
The Expos were good for a while.
Yeah.
They just had several bad years before they moved. And that's why they moved.
I've been hearing talks about what is it though? Tampa Bay might be splitting their time between Tampa Bay and Montreal.
Yeah.
I mean, I just seen that like, shit, that was a while ago.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay has like, for as good they are, their market is shit.
Mhm.
No one goes to their games.
Well, Tampa Bay Stadium is just shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Tampa Bay has the worst stadium of baseball.
Like their stadium, it's like they just need to get new. But like, yeah, they can't even sell out their playoff game.
Yeah.
It's like, dude.
Um.
So if any MLB team ever did move again, my money would be on Tampa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Around that time though, when Montreal moved to Washington, that's when Canada teams were moving. Around the time because Vancouver moved to Memphis in the NBA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, well, that's the only one I can name. But
Freaking Memphis.
yeah.
I think I heard the NBA was also thinking of expansion.
I hope the NBA does. That's the one.
I just want Seattle to come back.
I want Cincinnati to have a team.
You want Cincinnati?
Yeah.
I want Seattle to come back.
Seattle coming back is probably the biggest demand.
Yeah.
I think if
Sacramento
the NBA,
could move. The only reason Sacramento is one of the weird cases where they're losing money by staying there because the mayor, get this, is a former Sacramento Kings
but
player.
they can't move.
Keeps them there.
They can't move for like 20 years though, because they just built a new.
Yeah, they have a-
Yeah.
Because
Thanks
they were trying. People were trying to buy them to get them to move
Yeah.
to Seattle, but then the mayor.
It's the mayor is a former player. He literally kept them there.
The Kings were originally in technically Rochester, but they were there for like a year, and
then they moved to Cincinnati.
Yeah.
They should have stayed in Cincinnati.
and they had one of the greatest basketball players of all time, Oscar Robertson.
Yeah.
That'd be a cool little rivalry to have, the Cleveland and
Cincinnati in the basketball. That would be
Yeah.
cool.
Because like the only rivalry we really got between
It's
those
like
two.
the Pacers or Pistons.
Yeah, and the only
Because
and
they're
the only
close.
rival and then the only rivalry we really have between Cleveland and Cincinnati's in the NFL.
Yeah.
Because
'Cause
the
we don't
MLB
really-
teams, they
Well, we have the Ohio Cup in the MLB. But
yeah, but that's like, is it really a rivalry though?
no.
Because they're in different, like they play
Yeah.
once a year. and
I'd say only if they were really good.
Yeah.
And it was
maybe
like
maybe if they ever both, on the off chance that they get their heads out
And
there
I
and
will
have some goes to
say-
the World Series.
that would be crazy.
That would be fun though.
I want to see a
The
Chicago.
traffic though, the traffic.
Yeah.
The traffic. A Chicago, Ohio, or a New York one happen. Well, we've seen a New York one
Yeah.
happen before. I want to see those
Uh-huh.
happen.
Or
LA.
LA.
I mean, there was a
Angels all the
I
way.
mean, there was a Bay series, the San Francisco and
Oakland.
in Oakland.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
that's when the earthquake happened.
Oh god.
Yeah. Go
Um,
Oakland.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, Cleveland's won the Ohio Cup like the last 8 years though.
I
just because
I don't doubt that.
the Reds.
But the Indians were not Indians. The Guardians were
It's
good
fine,
for.
It's fine to say Indians. It's
Yeah,
close
you
enough.
racist.
They were good for them for like the majority of that time.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
Yeah.
And
But
the Reds like
The thing is though, the Reds were good last year, but we still lost that series against Indians
Yeah.
because they were the Indians at the time.
The Reds, at least historically, have like dynasties
Yeah.
where the Indians never got their heads out of their ass.
The Indians'
So-
last World Series win is what, the 40s?
Yeah.
48.
Yeah, 48.
So
So my
it's,
grandpa was born.
it's a long fucking
Long time ago.
Yep.
They blew that 2016 series.
I was
The
sad.
Cubs.
I
It
was
was.
very sad that they lost.
They
that.
blew. They were up 3-1.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're
They-
the only two that kind of rooted for him. I don't,
That,
probably rooted for Chicago,
that was.
but
the,
it was a good game.
I
It
just
was like
hate
a
Chicago.
comeback.
Hey,
They both
I
came
was-
back in the game.
hey! I will say this
7.
till I will say this till I die. That if it wasn't for that damn weather delay, the Indians win that game.
Yeah.
The Indians win that World Series if it's not for that damn weather delay.
Mhm.
Yeah, John Madden made a deal with the devil.
We would have. Joe Madden.
Or Joe Madden. Well, John Madden too.
I got several things that I would say in sports that I would never, that I would like just constantly like say, like every time that something happens against my team.
Yeah.
It's like the lights going. San
Just
Francisco fans, the
oh.
lights going out in the Super Bowl.
San Francisco was losing by a lot. If anything, Baltimore fans, if they lost that game, would be the right to complain because Baltimore had a huge lead and then the power went out and then they came back.
San Francisco came
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. Or it's like in
That was
the,
a
in-
fun Super Bowl to watch.
yeah. Or like in the NBA, I know the Cavs went 1-3 against the Warriors, I will go
and
to
then
my
came back.
I will go to my grave saying, like, in those 4 years, the Cavs should have won 2 of those series.
Yeah,
I will go to my grave saying that if Kyrie Irving doesn't get hurt game 1, the Cavs win that
or
series.
leave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Cavs win to 2015 if Kyrie doesn't get hurt.
Yeah, if he would have stayed, they would have
don't
probably
know, 'cause-
grabbed another one.
I don't know, because they still probably weren't going to beat the Warriors with Kevin Durant.
No.
Yeah.
But I looked at
I mean,
Kevin
the Raptors.
I mean, yeah, the Raptors did, but Kevin
So
Durant
probably,
got hurt that series.
I'd say another injury would happen because KD gets hurt all the time.
Yeah.
So does Kyrie.
So if Kyrie stays healthy, they would have.
Kyrie stays healthy, they have a chance.
Kyrie's been fine recently. Just the
Yeah.
COVID shit. That's it.
Yeah.
Celtics are probably gonna pass. They're already in the playoffs. Celtics are probably pass, and the Bulls grabbed one against the Bucks at home at Milwaukee, so they could probably win the series maybe.
The NBA playoffs are interesting.
90s Bulls are back.
Nice. We'll see. I gotta get through Atlanta and Boston.
Yeah. Watch them sweep everyone somehow.
I will say.
I don't know if Atlanta's gonna.
No, they're not.
Atlanta's gonna get swept.
Hopefully they can get a win. If they get a win.
Game 3's tonight.
Why do you like Atlanta?
My dad grew up a Hawks fan.
Oh.
He grew up with Dominique Wilkins and just old 80s
legends.
Old 80s.
See, I really don't got a dog in any fight in the playoffs.
Even Kenny the Jet was on.
He was, but he's not really as prominent as other Hawks players.
Yeah. He's just fast.
Yeah. But going back to expansion talk, there's I think NHL's done with expansion just because Seattle was the last team. We're at an even 32 now for NHL.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably going to see how the market.
Yeah,
The Kraken has made a shit ton of money for being such a shitty team.
Yeah.
Well, they're also new.
Yeah,
being new
but
really
they
helps.
strict the rules because Golden Knights got away with robbery because the way the.
Well, what happened was, so before the Golden Knights came in, I think not Nashville. It was Minnesota, Wild, and the Jackets were the newest two teams. They were the teams that came in, the two newest expansion teams, and the Jackets. You guys know the Jackets were asked for like the first 15 years, and then they had that little 4-year stretch where they made the playoffs every year.
Are they good this year?
Are they good this year?
No, they're not good.
They're better than what I expected. I was expecting them to be kind of.
They'll miss the playoffs.
They'll miss the playoffs, but I was expecting them to be absolutely worse than what they are.
Like the Coyotes or something.
Yeah, I was expecting them to be last in their division.
Coyotes have been terrible for a long while.
Yeah.
They've been around since the 90s.
Yeah, but their expansion thing was pretty much set up to where hey, your expansion team is supposed to be bad, and then Vegas.
Because they signed.
And then they changed the rules for Vegas, and probably just so they can say, hey, Vegas has a good team. Because come on, it's Vegas.
The rules kind of made sense so it was weird. So each team had an untouchable.
Yeah.
Vegas cannot poach this player. So you had an untouchable.
But teams had less untouchables than what the could only have. I think it was
Seattle's was different. They gave them more draft picks, pretty much.
Yeah, they gave them more draft picks.
It's kind of OP to poach a really good player because you could be this player's untouchable, but this really good player's not untouchable.
Yeah, because
we can grab them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Aaron Rodgers is untouchable, but you can pick up Devontae Adams.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's when the Jackets, Wild, and the Kraken, when they had their expansion drafts, teams had more untouchables, but then they changed the rules for Vegas where teams they couldn't say
it was just one player.
You couldn't there was less untouchables that you could put.
Yeah.
So
in if with any sense you can make a super team.
So yes, hence why they were able to. Did they go to the Stanley Cup their first
year?
They
went to the Stanley. They're the greatest expansion team.
Yeah,
of all
hence why
time
hence why they were able to go to the Stanley Cup their very first.
Almost won it.
William Karlsson, because he was on the Blue Jackets.
Yeah,
he was on the Blue Jackets.
But it just makes me wonder. Imagine how the rules for expansion teams in other leagues would go.
Yeah, I think the NFL and the NHL should stop now because they're both at 32.
Yeah.
The NFL hasn't had one since the Texans.
Texans are shit.
Yeah, they had some good years, but they never made it to an AFC championship.
Yeah. do you think they should get I think it should be a mix between what the Golden Knights were given and the Kraken were given. Like you have untouchables,
Yeah, a mix.
but
Well, other leagues are going to do it differently. Like the NBA is at 30 right now, and the MLB is at 30. So I think each of those two leagues should get 2 more teams each.
yeah.
So all 4 major leagues are at 32.
NBA would be crazier because the roster is a lot smaller.
I also want the NBA to have better divisions than what they have right now, because it's
Yeah.
kind of all
Divisions don't
scuffed.
matter.
Yeah,
They
I,
don't
Yeah,
matter.
the
I want
NBA
divisions to matter in the NBA. I
Yeah,
think that'd be
but-
a lot better.
Yeah.
I think I'd be more interested in watching basketball if that was the case.
Yeah, regular season's kind of just
Yeah.
have to win.
Win the conference.
And that, in 10 seeds, there's 10 seeds. You're sure it's not the playoffs, but the play-in shit is bullshit.
Yeah.
Because we have a
I
team
don't
like
the plan
we have a
anyway.
team like the Pelicans, a losing record 8th seed. Doesn't make sense.
No. What do you think, Nate?
I think you know what the plan's for is to make teams that are like middle of the pack to get to NBA just for more
Well,
viewers. Like, cause
It was for COVID.
do I really need to see like freaking Miami blast the Hawks 4 games in a row? Do I really need to see that? Sorry, Owen.
Yeah.
Hey.
Well, I mean, the Hawks probably would have made the. No, they were. They were out, right? They were a 9th seed.
Here's the
technically,
two-
right?
We
like-
were barely out. We should have made it.
Like, do I really
Yeah.
need to see teams like blast a lower
We
seed
still
teams
beat the
for-
Cavs though. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
And it gives lower seed teams too much of a chance.
I will
It's
say
like you don't
I
deserve
will
to
say
face
the,
a 1 seed, you know?
Yeah, and then you get teams like, all right, you have a losing record, but now you're in the playoffs, so now you can't get into the lottery.
I will say
Yeah.
Atlanta had
So fuck you.
Yeah, you
know?
kind of screwed yourself.
Atlanta had an inconsistent season. We struggled to be above 500.
Yeah.
But I think we got to 500. It was just a rough year, but
The Cavs got screwed over late in the season with injuries.
yeah.
So
That's
many
another thing.
so many injuries hit
Talk-
the Cavs that late in the season.
Talking about
Yeah.
injuries, there was the NBA kind of screwed the Hawks earlier in the season because Trae Young had COVID, and usually when teams like the Warriors or the Lakers have a player with COVID, they
Yeah.
cancel the games and reschedule them later.
Yeah.
We were forced to play so many games without Trae Young.
Yeah, and I mean, you got to give Nets credit then, though, because the Nets have to play without Kyrie Irving
Yeah,
because of the
that's
COVID
true.
bullshit.
But I feel like the NBA was so unfair with that rule.
Yeah,
And that's another reason why we were kind of screwed this season.
I'd say all leagues have a slight bias towards LA teams.
Yeah, absolutely.
because there's so much money, and
So
that's where all the
much-
corporate and all that.
so much
shit
money
is.
to make there.
The NFL wasn't that way until we got the Rams.
Yeah,
There's so
and no
much
one's a
money to make
Rams
there.
fan. It's just everyone was just
Even
happy
their-
Stafford got a ring.
Even
I
their
guess.
stadium, I thought it was funny. They were begging people to not sell their tickets for the playoff games, and
Yeah.
there's still a lot more Niner fans there than there were
Yeah.
Rams fans. Like it's like both fan bases in the LA area are just sorry.
Mhm.
Yeah, they don't really exist.
No.
It's like fake. Vegas, I'd say, somehow has a larger following.
But there's
the
also still
Raiders.
there's also
The
still
Raiders have
if you
always
still
been a
look
big
at
fan
their
base.
if you
Yeah.
still look at their games though, there's still like quite a bit red. But I think that's mostly because Vegas is such a tourist attraction that like, hey,
Mhm.
let's just go to Vegas and then while we're
Yeah.
there we can catch a game.
Yeah.
One's there's a guy we went to school with, Tyler Sanders. He's in Marine Corps. He's stationed out there. He's a Bengals fan, but I always saw him. He was always going to Raiders games, and he just had a Bengals jersey. He went to the Bengals game there.
It's
But
fun.
yeah,
Yeah.
the way the Bengals game in Vegas.
yeah,
It's only like a
We
2.
won that game.
yeah,
Yeah, I heard it's only like a 2-3 hour drive from 29 Palms.
yeah. That's where a lot of the guys go.
Yeah, it's
Party City.
convenient.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially for young, like
yeah.
18, 20.
It'd be like
Year olds.
living. It'd be like living. For if you're going to compare Vegas to something. If you lived on the East Coast, Atlantic City's kind of close.
Yeah, Atlantic City.
But that's just an East Coast comparison. Obviously, Vegas is way more.
Yeah, I wonder if Atlantic City's better because being the Vegas, again, it would just be fun to be there for like a weekend
Yeah.
with your friends. Besides that, it's a very shitty place.
It's just all. It's like There's nothing around it, you know.
Yeah,
It's in the middle of a desert.
Yeah.
and it's just tourist traps. Very accustomed to like foreigners too, because a lot of foreigners visit there.
God.
It's weird to see that kind of place
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Being where we're from.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess especially like Midwest. But I'd say like I've been to Chicago plenty of times, and I'd say Chicago's 10 times better than Vegas.
Because also Chicago's Midwest.
Yeah,
so-
yeah, I guess so too. But the people even like people think like if you think outside Chicago, you're like, oh shit, I'm gonna get killed. When really
Yeah.
it's not really that way at
Don't
all.
go to the south side.
Yeah, South Side. It's literally Chicago's one of the most straightforward cities ever. It's like South Side. Oh, this is bad. Good.
Chicago, I was looking at something. Chicago probably out of every city in the United States has the most universities.
Yeah,
It's insane.
They have a lot.
They have Northwestern. They have Chicago.
DePaul.
They have just a bunch of
I
stuff.
think in Illinois is in Champaign, but Illinois
Did I
has.
say Northwestern already?
Yeah, you said Northwestern.
North-
Illinois has some districts there.
They have Northeastern, I think, as well.
Yeah, the weird thing is about them is working there. I didn't realize this was a street, but they have a street named after Ohio State. There's
What's
an
it
Ohio
called?
State street
Oh, okay.
in Chicago.
They do?
Yeah, Ohio State Street. That's a street.
Are you
And
sure, it was an Ohio street?
No, it was Ohio State Street.
That's funny.
And it's really close to not Northwestern, DePaul for some reason.
God.
I don't really like DePaul, but
Really?
the Blue Devils.
I don't know. I've never been there.
Northwestern's really nice.
Northwestern's probably.
Ain't it in Evanston?
Yeah.
Which is like a really nice suburb of Chicago.
Yeah, North. They have a lot of facilities in the city. They have like probably the nicest athletic facility
It's like right on
in
the
Chicago.
Too bad
Yeah.
their teams suck.
Yeah.
But I will say this about Chicago. That's the reason why the Big Ten headquarters are in Chicago is because it's the biggest city in the Midwest. That's one reason.
Yeah.
And one of the founding fathers of the Big Ten was Chicago University, but obviously they don't have a football team anymore.
Yeah.
I seen this thing from the Big Ten that actually kind of made me. Well, so you know the Big Ten, it's kind of like their basketball tournaments normally in like Chicago or Indianapolis.
Yeah.
I seen this thing. It's like in a few years it's gonna be in like Minneapolis.
Why?
That's what I'm saying. It's like I
Doesn't
think
make-
like Indianapolis and Chicago.
Makes sense because it's kind of in the middle.
Yeah, they're kind of in the middle. And it's like I seen this thing where it's like, all right, the Big Ten championship game is locked into Indianapolis till 2024, so at least 3 more years. And I was like, it's almost like were they ever like they were trying to move it? And I was like, I'm not sure they were trying to move it, but I feel like that's like cause like thing. You only got like because we're Midwest, it gets cold in the winter, especially for the Big Ten championship game.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like so really you only have like 3 viable options. Because you can't use Columbus or not Columbus, Cleveland or Cincinnati because they're outdoors.
Outdoor
You
stadium.
can't use Chicago because outdoors.
Outdoors.
Yeah.
Can't use Green Bay outdoors, or any of the Pennsylvania teams.
Yeah.
But like so really you only got in my mind you only got really one viable option because fuck Detroit. Who wants to go to Detroit?
Yeah.
Or then I
Field.
guess Minnesota got a pretty nice stadium, but it's like
they have.
it's kind of like far away though. It's kind of like edge of Big Ten country. So it's
Yeah.
like in Indianapolis.
But
It's
you're
like
Minnesota fans?
yeah, it's like Indianapolis, like centrally located.
You know what they could do? There's no Big Ten teams in this area. This is kind of more southeast, but it's still Midwest. They could do St. Louis because the Edward Jones Dome is still there from the Rams when they used to be there. But that's also kind of far out. But
Yeah, that's also kind of far out.
Where does Missouri University play?
University of Missouri. I don't actually know. It's not in St. Louis or Kansas City. It's like it might be closer to Jefferson City.
Mhm.
But I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure where
I'd have to look it up, but Mizzou, I don't really care about them.
Yeah. Blaine Gabbert went there, right?
Blaine Gabbert, fucking Drew Lock. So
2 legends.
yeah.
Hey, say which one about Blaine Gabbert. He still has a Super Bowl.
True.
Yeah.
And Drew Lock's about to win one in his first year with Seattle.
That'd be such an upset.
Yeah.
That's like the Rockies winning the World Series this year.
Well, actually, I wouldn't mind the Rockies winning a World Series.
That would be, again, like a random upset.
They're doing really well, actually, this year.
Yeah.
We joke about it, but they're actually doing decent.
But it's still the start of the season. Every team has their drop off.
I thought it was funny when the Nationals won the World Series because Bryce Harper just laughed.
Dude,
that was the year Bryce Harper left. And then I heard this that was the year they beat Houston, right?
Yeah.
And that was the year everyone was like getting on Houston because they're stealing
They
signs.
cheated.
Yeah, and then I think their catcher even came out and said, every inning we change our signs because we knew they would probably be trying to watch it.
Yeah.
So like every inning they changed their signs, and that's why they were able to beat Houston, because hey, Houston,
Yep.
they can't tell what we're about to do now.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and they had Scherzer.
So now we're actually making them actually play the game instead of cheat. So
And what's funny about that is they also had Zimmerman, the Mr. Nationals, what his nickname is.
Since they became a team.
Yep. The funny thing about the Bryce Harper thing that you mentioned is before that season, like it was preseason, and he said this was his first year in Philly, and he was like, I can't wait to win the World Series for the Nationals. Well, he like had a Freudian slip.
yeah,
And they ended up winning the World Series that year.
You should just predict who's gonna win.
Yeah. This year he should be like, I can't wait to win the World Series for the Rockies.
And then they win it all. He's like, I can't keep doing this.
Phillies fans are like, get out of here, Bryce Harper.
They're doing kind of shit right now.
They are.
hey, they got their World Series though.
They do. Roy Halladay.
Nationals and the Phillies aren't doing too good this year. They should be good. They have a pretty good roster besides pitching.
Yeah, and it kind of shows you how the MLB is structured as well. With, you can't really have a dynasty because obviously the Nationals won the World Series, but now they're not good anymore.
Yeah, they were kind of that one and done team.
Yeah, and that's what you see very often.
Like who was that?
Dodgers are like the only thing we could get.
Yeah, like who would you say was the last dynasty that MLB had?
Holden and I kind of talked about this last week. We said like of this century, probably either the Giants or the Cardinals or Boston.
Boston
could you go to
the
dawn of the century though, and I guess it would be late 90s, early 2000s when the Yankees ended up going to like 4 straight World Series and won
Blue
3.
Jays did back-to-back too, right?
Blue Jays?
Yeah, didn't they do
Like
back-to-back in a decade?
I don't know.
Like didn't
Was
they?
it 90s? I thought Blue Jays
went back-to-back in like the early 90s.
Yeah, 92 and 93.
Yeah, I don't know, but you're probably
something like that. Because I just think that
was during the strike year, so nobody really cares.
I thought the Yankees, I thought it was so funny because they ended up winning 3 out of 4, and the one that they lost was to the Diamondbacks of all teams.
Yeah, it was 92 and 93.
Like the Diamondbacks of all teams.
Yeah, that was the Diamondbacks' first win as well, and weren't the Diamondbacks kind of new at the time as well?
Yeah, they're
pretty sure.
So
they still had those.
But they had Randy Johnson though.
Yeah, Randy Johnson is like one of the greatest pitchers of all time. So.
Something I saw that's interesting is, did you know that Nolan Ryan never won a Cy Young?
He didn't?
No. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But neither is Portola Colon.
But yeah, that's
big sexy.
even more insane.
Yeah.
Colon legend for playing for 20 out of the 30 teams.
Yeah. When it hit his first home run, it was legendary. Even the Padres were celebrating.
Yeah.
It was such a historical moment.
And it was funny because you know how the MLB teams do it sometimes, like their teammates, like whenever a home run's hit, they like give them the silent treatment in the dugout.
They left.
When he came in, it's so funny.
They all were gone. Besides one guy, there's like one.
They did that. They do that on purpose. It's like a weird celebration, and then they all came out later and and Clone's like, screw you guys.
Because it was the next guy up, just like shook his hand, and then the bat boy, and then one of the batting coaches, and then that was it.
Like that's what happened with the Padres this year when a player on their team hit his first career home run. They all just stood there when he came back to the dugout, and then Machado was the first one to come up and and then they all came up afterwards.
Man, they were such a disappointing team last year.
The Padres,
the Orioles.
And the Orioles.
I expected
the Orioles.
I expected the Padres to make it to the playoffs, and they just didn't.
Well, they're in a tough ass.
Yeah, to be fair, the NL West is really difficult.
Yeah, but like the players they had on their team, I was just expecting them to do better than what they did.
And they still have 2 injured players.
Another huge thing with that,
Tatis and someone else.
Yeah, Tatis is still hurt this year. He's coming back in like June. A thing with that, Nate, is that the Giants, everyone expected them to do garbage last year.
And they did good.
They did really well. I think they won the NL West last year, and then the Dodgers ended up winning the World Series.
Such a cop-out.
Yeah. Oh, wait, no. Atlanta won the World Series. What the fuck am I saying?
Dodgers won the year before.
That's what
I was about to say, because
one
of the dudes I was in class with down in North Carolina, one of my sergeants. He's from Georgia, and he kept saying Atlanta's gonna win the World Series. Atlanta's gonna win the World Series. Everybody was like, dude, they're not beating the Dodgers. And then but he kept having faith, and wouldn't you know?
Yeah.
Fucking won.
Don't you know?
Yeah, don't you know?
I just want teams to prevent the Dodgers from being a dynasty.
Yeah.
I want them to keep losing because they're gonna make the World Series.
Mhm.
They have too much of it's literally a cheating
Gotta hope
roster.
for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know if a roster's been that good since the Reds in the 70s.
Dude, that's probably.
The Reds in the 70s
Were
because
insane,
they were stacked.
That's a dynasty.
It's like
And that's another thing. I just always sounds like, man, how did the Reds of all teams get that stacked? It's not like they're in a huge market, but maybe
they were back then. They
Cincinnati-
were better.
Cincinnati's like top 3 of baseball cities. St. Louis, Cincinnati, and like another huge baseball cities like, I don't know. Can you think of anything? Chicago.
New York?
Maybe New York. New York, Cincinnati, and St. Louis are like the top 3 baseball cities in the country.
Yeah, Boston's got to be up there though. Their fan base is insane.
And that's why all the lack of support of ownership for Cincinnati is like devastating because of how much of a baseball city they are.
Yeah,
Man,
it's been so long.
They even throw a parade for opening day and everything.
Yeah. And like, how do you bash that parade as
If you gave people something to cheer about instead of giving us all these mediocre ass teams.
Yeah.
You know how many playoffs the Reds made since they won the World Series in '99? Not '99, but in '90.
They've
Less than 10.
They've won. Wait, how many have they been to?
How many
just playoff
playoff appearances they had since they won?
They had 1, 2.
It's less
3,
than 10.
4. They've had 5.
Less than 10.
They've had 5.
For
getting
a
past
team
the
like
first.
Cincinnati, just like that's kind of pathetic.
Yeah,
That is very pathetic.
I mean,
That
the
is-
Yankees have been shitty this century too.
You know, the
I mean,
2010s.
they have one World Series.
I think the 2010s was the first decade in like decades that they haven't won a World Series in.
Yeah. The Yankees. Yeah.
This is like their longest.
That's a team you
That's just-
expect to be good.
Yeah, that's just. I think it's like their longest World Series drought.
It's weird because us growing up, the Red Sox have been dominating the series, but everyone else, if you're watching baseball, you're used to the Red Sox getting beat on.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting turn of events.
Yeah, the Yankees. I believe you're right, Nate. I think they've won once per decade since the 1900s.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm talking 1900s, like 1900 to 1910, that decade.
Like there might have been one in between. I'm not sure, but I know they. It seems like at least every decade they won one.
Yeah.
Yeah, another thing as well going on, like with teams that haven't won recently, Michigan sports. So I'm talking college and pros. The 2010s was their first decade they had no championships in Michigan, and once again since like the 1900s.
Well, we know it was.
Or 1890s.
Well,
the
we know.
2000s, the Red Wings were good.
Yeah, the Red Wings won like what 2?
Yeah.
Then
Yeah, but they didn't do anything in the 2010s.
Yeah, and they suck now.
yeah, the '90s. What Michigan won half a championship.
God.
Yeah.
Half of one. I'm not sure if the Red Wings won any, but
I think the Red
Yeah.
Wings did something in the 90s. Right?
probably the Red
Yeah, I
Wings.
think
The
the Red
Red
Wings
Wings have a
won one.
really good history.
They're
So
just been shit the past 20 years.
Red Wings carry Detroit though.
Yeah.
right, because damn
Oh,
well
the Pistons won.
Past 15
yeah,
years.
Pistons won.
Yeah.
I think 89 and 90.
Early 2000s too.
Yeah, true.
Because they beat
So that's
the
what their
Lakers.
That's what their championship in the 2000s was. Then was the Tigers and Pistons, right? I think the Tigers won.
In Red Wings.
Tigers
Tigers didn't win.
Tigers didn't win a World
when
Series.
was-
They went to the World Series, but they didn't win.
I could have sworn they won a World Series.
No, because
they lost in the 2000s.
They lost. I don't know, but
I'm
I know
thinking before the 2000s, maybe.
because didn't they lose this? Did
They
lose?
they had a Cabrera
Cabrera and
the year they
Justin
went to the World
Verlander.
Series and lost.
Oh,
Justin Verlander, and then did they also have a?
yeah, you guys.
Was that the year they also had Price?
You're right. They had David Price. You're right about the 2000s World Series. I was stupid there, but I think the Tigers won a World Series before the 2000s.
84
Yeah, there you go.
is their last one.
And have they won before that?
68,
Yeah, I thought
45,
I thought
and
they had-
35.
Yeah, they had 4. Okay.
I just want any Ohio team at this point to win the World Series.
I'm with you there.
They were in the World Series in 2012.
if we're talking about Ohio teams now,
Sad history.
sad history, but
Sad history
if
of
we're-
championships.
if we're going college and pros though, we won in the 70s. We won in. I don't think we won in the 80s.
We didn't win any in the 80s. We didn't win any in the 90s.
We won one in the 90s.
Oh wait, we did win one in the 90s.
Reds.
Yeah, the Reds. We won one in the 2000s with Ohio State, and we won two in the 2010s.
Ohio State,
Yeah.
and Cleveland.
Yeah.
It's not too bad. And then 2020s, we've won 16.
But I'll be shocked if we don't add to that into 2020s though.
Yeah.
Like I actually will
Bengals
be.
and the Browns have potential.
Bengals and the Browns have potential, and I still think Ohio State's gonna win within the next 5 years. You'll at least have one championship.
Buckeyes, yeah.
Should.
Clemson's on the
Yeah.
decline. Alabama is always gonna be good.
Alabama's always good. Clemson,
I mean, as long as Saban exists.
Georgia's losing a lot in the draft this year.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Georgia, they
They
can.
still have Bennett though, right?
Georgia,
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Georgia can recruit though, so they'll be fine.
Mhm.
And let's see.
They lost JT Daniels.
Get this. This is what's gonna happen this year. Georgia Tech is gonna come out of nowhere, and they're gonna upset Georgia, and then they're gonna win
In
the
the last
championship.
game of the
You know, in NCAA 13,
and win the national, so they're undefeated.
in NCAA 13, I have a dynasty with Georgia Tech.
Dude, I love Georgia
Oh
Tech.
yeah, I've done
So
that.
so like
They were even decent back then,
Yeah,
like
that-
2012.
yeah, and I was just thinking, I was like, man, I would just love for a team to come out of nowhere, like Georgia Tech, that actually has a decent history, but like I would love for a team like Georgia
They were
Tech.
one of the
It
last
sucks.
good option
Yeah.
teams.
It sucks because teams that are historic. I love to see like historic teams do well.
Right.
But teams like Georgia Tech, Nebraska, even USC, they've been kind of dog shit recently.
I think USC is about to, because
USC's on the come up though.
yeah, Lincoln Riley can really recruit.
The rivalry between USC and Notre Dame in the early 2000s was pretty good.
Yeah, but I hate both of them. So.
Yeah, USC. That
Matt
Thunder-
Leinart.
I think it's gonna be
I
think it's gonna be a few. Like I think this year USC might not. It's gonna be. They're gonna be okay. But
Two USC former USC quarterbacks are gonna face each other. I think in West Virginia because JT Daniels was in USC apparently way back when.
Yeah, he was.
And
he played.
Pitt's quarterback is from USC, so
That's-
they play each other at the start.
That's funny because JT Daniels was the starter, got hurt, and Keaton Slovis was the guy that took his job,
Yeah, and then he
And then
was the
Keaton-
starter at Georgia, and then got hurt.
and then Stetson
Yeah.
Bennett.
And now he's at West Virginia, and he's gonna
Damn,
get
he
hurt.
had two walk-ons take his job. What a damn.
But I say getting him at West Virginia could be a steal.
He had two walk-ons take his job.
His job.
Dude, yeah, this is the hardest I've seen Nate laugh in a while.
Get fucked.
He's gonna get hurt this year in a West Virginia walk-on. He's gonna take
Take
his job.
I would love to see Georgia Tech win the ACC.
I don't like ACC football. A lot of the teams
No.
besides Tech and
I
a
think
few others.
Tech, North Carolina, I like, but that's about it.
Yeah, I like a lot of players.
I had a
from North Carolina.
buddy.
Boston College.
I had,
Oh,
a,
yeah.
I had a buddy I was a
Decent.
roommate with down in. We shared a barracks room down in North Carolina. He was an NC State fan.
NC
First
State's good, too.
first NC State fan I ever met.
They always pull fun upsets.
I like NC State for their colors and their mascot.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I
they've
was
always
like,
been the underdogs. Too.
yeah,
No pun intended.
yeah. Like he was an NC State fan, so I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I have good quarterback history, by
Yeah.
the way.
Philip Rivers, Jacoby Brissett.
Ryan Finley.
Yeah.
Destroyed the Steelers on Monday night.
Russell Wilson went there for 3
Russell
years,
Wilson.
and then he transferred to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Glennon went there.
Mike Glennon.
Yeah.
I will say
God.
about Russell Wilson, he's one of the few transfer quarterbacks that considers himself both a Wolfpack guy and a Badger guy.
Yeah.
That's why his Sunday night intro is a whole pack of Badgers, because he does it pun with both teams. Pack, the Wolfpack, and then the Badgers.
Yeah.
Whole pack of Badgers.
Yep.
Even though he was better on Wisconsin, probably.
He goes because everyone's like,
Er-
Aaron Rodgers, Cal. But Russell Wilson's like, Russell Wilson, a
Aaron
whole
Rodgers.
pack of
Well,
Badgers.
I mean, people are gonna remember you where you did success at. Like,
Yeah.
kind of like, no one cares that Joe Burrow went to Ohio State. 'cause
No,
no
nobody
one,
does.
no one cares
Yeah,
that
he-
Justin
You'll
Fields.
see
went to Georgia's first year.
Yeah.
Because you'll see those intros next year probably with Justin Fields and Joe Burrow on Sunday
And
night.
they're gonna say
They're
the
gonna
teams
say,
they should.
Yeah, they're gonna say LSU.
Joe Burrow should say
Yeah.
LSU Tigers.
Yep.
So
He didn't do
He
any.
literally won a national championship.
Yeah, that's what everyone remembers him for. Justin Fields. He's gonna
You
say
the Ohio
probably
State.
Ohio State
Yeah.
Buckeyes because like
He
no one,
prevented Clemson.
no one cares that no one cares that he
Should've
was a
been twice.
backup.
Yeah.
That he was a backup for
Fucking.
Fromm.
It was
You
Jake
can't tell
Fromm.
me he
How,
wasn't.
Yeah.
how does that happen, by the way? You have Jacob Eason and Justin Fields both better than Fromm.
And you still
Yeah.
play Fromm ahead of him.
Yeah.
Like,
Fromm
I-
hasn't really been given a complete chance though.
Not in the NFL.
In
but
college,
Yeah.
he absolutely got it.
In,
Well, yeah, you
in
got a
college, he was a
chance.
4-year starter.
And he was
And
in
he
the
was
national
still-
championship.
I think there's a lot of college quarterbacks that are legends that weren't given a fair shot in the NFL. Colt McCoy is
Yeah.
one that I always talk about.
He went. Well,
But,
to
I
be
mean,
fair,
he's-
Colt McCoy went to the absolutely worst team for quarterbacks.
Mhm.
Yeah, and a team that wouldn't give a quarterback a chance.
And then they were like, "Oh, we have so much potential with Colt McCoy coming back. Let's go ahead and draft 28-year-old Brandon Whedon in the next draft."
Yeah.
How the hell do you draft a 28-year-old in the first round at
Screw you
quarterback?
guys for getting Whedon.
Yeah.
'Cause the butterfly effect made us get Whedon.
Oh yeah, the Cowboys.
Bro, then we got Whedon, and then I think our next
It's like the
first round-
Lions or something would have got him. He
Yeah.
probably would have still
Yeah,
be
yeah,
there.
we got Whedon, and then that turned into fucking Jason Campbell, Brian Hoyer. I don't even know who else. I know
Johnny
there's a-
Manziel.
Warriors a
Johnny,
legend, though.
yeah, Johnny Manziel, and then Johnny Manziel led the
Browns to Deshaun Kaiser and
Yeah.
fucking who's the other guy?
Kessler,
Cody
Yeah.
Kessler.
You
Cody
better always
Kessler,
remember Kaiser. 'cause
Chris
That
Hogan.
is a legendary run.
Well, actually,
only winning one game in 2 years.
Well, no.
No.
He wasn't the guy that. So the year before, it was Cody Kessler and
Yeah.
RG3, and
then-
RG3 was the one that actually won the game.
So
even
Kaiser
though-
just kept it.
Kaiser's the guy who went 0-16.
Okay.
Though
That's even better.
But to be fair, they should have beaten Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's backups.
You know what else is to be fair? They had backups in.
Yeah, to be
Yeah.
fair, yeah. But that pass, the one pass that he actually
Corey
threw,
Coleman
that he actually threw perfectly, and it went straight through Corey Coleman's hands and hit him in the face mask.
Poor guy.
And now Kaiser is like.
And I'm
Is
pretty
Kaiser
sure,
even in the league?
No.
Kaiser-
Well, yeah, he's a backup.
I think he's a
For who?
backup. I don't know.
I think he's a backup.
I know
For
Coleman.
who? Junior Cheeseburger?
He was- I'm pretty sure Coleman's not in the league anymore, and,
No,
and
he's
rightfully so. Cause screw that. Ever since
First
he
round pick.
ever
Yeah.
since you dropped that pass, he's been dead to me.
Kaiser was a backup for the Packers for a while, but I don't know what team he's on now.
Like
Um,
ever since he dropped that pass, he's been dead to me.
You think Rodgers made fun of him? He's like, so I have a Super Bowl and you have no wins.
Go ahead.
Actually, I think Deshaun Kaiser though. I think he actually beat the Browns one time.
Oh, that's just embarrassing.
Cause I think well, actually no, he didn't.
Okay, that's not embarrassing.
It was
He got
someone else. It
revenge.
was someone else that beat the Browns. No, because that was when Deshaun Kaiser was still. Because it was like Deshaun Kaiser was because the Browns were playing the Packers and Deshaun Kaiser was our quarterback, and we actually went to overtime with the Packers. But there's something to it.
Oh,
Aaron Rodgers was hurt,
Mm-hmm.
so Aaron Rodgers wasn't playing. Because if Aaron Rodgers was playing, we would have got blown out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I will say about
and then he threw a
Holden,
not pick six, but he threw an interception in our side of the field and they scored.
say with Holden when you're talking about Brandon Whedon earlier, that 2015 Cowboy season was like kind of like his 0-16 season with the Browns for Holden.
Yeah.
Because Romo got hurt. No, I think you guys started off like 1-0, and then Romo.
Yeah, we won the first game.
And then you lost the second game,
hurt his ribs.
and then he got hurt in the second game, and
Yeah.
then it was disaster. And then you guys had to start fucking Matt Castle and Brandon Whedon.
yeah.
And then he came back. Romo came back the week before Thanksgiving and won that game. And then we're like, Romo's back. We're making a playoff run. And then the next week, Thanksgiving against the Carolina Panthers.
I remember that game. Yeah.
And I was at my grandparents' house, and we had our cousin's a Cowboys fan, and then I was like, Romo broke his ribs, and I remember saying to him, "Happy Thanksgiving."
God.
And he was like, "Thanks."
I even remember the Panthers. That was when the Panthers were all blue.
Yeah, all blue. They were
Man.
the color rush.
Yeah. That was such
Man, I always laugh.
At least we won games. That's all I could say.
See, I always
You
laugh
guys
at.
3-13 or 4-12 that year, something like that.
I think 4-12.
4-12.
See, I always laugh at people when their team goes like 2-14 or
Okay.
something like that, and they go, man, well, at least it can't get any worse, because I just sit there and I'm just like, ha. It can get worse. Because that was my reaction when the Browns went 1-15. I was like, well, it can't get any worse.
Here's the thing, though. The differences.
Nope.
The differences are with the teams you're talking about. It can't get worse for their teams. So like the Cowboys 4-12, it can't get worse for them because they're the Cowboys. But for the
Yeah.
Browns,
It can't get worse.
Everyone knows the Browns.
Everyone, like if the Jacksonville, it's like they just went like what, 2 games?
Yeah, Jacksonville.
It can't get
drafted
worse.
Trevor Lawrence. We're not gonna have the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
It's the number 1 pick.
I saw the stupidest thing where it was, they said like the Browns are under investigation for purposefully tanking. in those 2 years.
how
Did you
And
see our roster?
And
Come on.
Everyone in the comments is like, "What are you going to punish them with? More first-round picks?"
Yeah.
What? It's
You're
not
too bad. You need to be better.
It's like,
That's
did you
so
see?
stupid.
It's
Yeah.
like, did you see our roster? Come on, there's
Yeah.
no way they were winning anything.
How is that under investigation when you have teams
Yeah.
like the Dolphins who actually tanked for Tua?
Like,
Yeah.
come on. It's like that's what people.
That
like,
shouldn't. That's not even like. It's more of like a pride thing than I'd say it should be a rule.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't be like you have to try and win.
That's dumb.
No, yeah, I mean you get paid for effort.
Like if you lose, you lose. The other team's not complaining.
Hey, I'm not gonna say we tank because there's some games that we like we in 2016 when because I think 2017 was when we went 0-16. In 2016 we went 1-15,
Yeah.
but there's like 7 games that were within
That you
one
could have
possession.
won.
That was within
Believe
one
me.
possession.
I know that story. We were when we went 2-14 in 2019. We could have easily been 10-6.
Yeah, so it was like we went 1-15, but we
Yeah.
easily could have been 7-9.
it's like the Lions this past year. All those
Lions.
games were close.
Lions
Or
too.
like in 2017, we
Especially
went
against
into
the
over.
Ravens.
Yeah.
In 2017, when
Longest
it,
field goal of all time.
yeah, we went
Texas.
we went into overtime a few times, and there's like some teams I was like, man, we beat those guys if we just played.
Yeah.
That we didn't. That wasn't on our schedule.
I will say the Browns. This is a story time again. When the Browns got their first win in 2016, they went 1-15 that year, right?
Yeah,
Um,
got it on Christmas Eve.
we were at our grandparents' for Christmas Eve, and I was with my sister's ex-boyfriend. He's a Lions fan, and he was like, "I need the Chargers to win this game so the Browns can feel our pain." And then they lost. The Browns won, and he's like, "God damn it!"
Hey. I think we might have it worse though, because the Lions didn't go 1-31.
That's true, but the Lions did do. dog
They
shit
went
this year.
0-16,
Yeah.
but they didn't go
The
1-31.
Lions haven't gotten that far in the playoffs in the longest time.
They haven't
You
won.
guys
They haven't
even.
won a playoff game in. They've only won one playoff game since the 50s.
Yeah, one playoff game since.
Was it in the 90s?
Yeah.
In the 90s when they won their division, and that's also the only time they've won their division.
Yeah, they won their division in the 90s, and they won one playoff game to go to the NFC
Actually,
Championship with Barry
Did
Sanders.
they beat the Cowboys in the playoffs?
No,
Was that the team they beat last?
no. Did they? Oh, well, actually, I'm trying to think.
Because that was
I
the year
think-
the Packers went to the Super Bowl.
I think that may have actually been the last team they beat.
Yeah.
Because you're talking 90s. For some reason, I was thinking 2000s.
Oh yeah.
But
Which
no,
the
yeah.
Cowboys beat the Lions. Obviously.
Yeah.
Um,
Got a revenge, I guess.
Your revenge.
Man, the Lions really had Matthew Stafford and Megatron, and only went to 2 playoffs.
They even
Yeah.
had an elite defense. and
How
all
the
they
hell?
did.
How the hell do you do that?
I will say, the Lions kind of fucked their own mouths when they got rid of who was it? Jim Caldwell.
Yeah.
Yes.
Caldwell was actually a really good coach for them, and then they were like, "Oh, 9-7? That's not good enough. We need Matt Patricia." And then they got Matt Patricia.
Yeah. They got rid of him so prematurely.
Yeah.
He probably would have kept Stafford.
He would have kept Stafford, and he would have kept building on his team. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think they would have gone like 11-5 after their 9-7 year, but they got Matt Patricia and like what, like fucking 5-11 or something.
Yeah, terrible. He was
Yeah.
driving his, 4-wheeler
Yeah.
around.
Matt Patricia was our train wreck.
Yep.
Yeah. Freaking the bad guy from Popeye. That's who he is.
Oh yeah, Butch.
Yeah, Butch.
The Butch.
Man, I was still trying to figure out why the Dolphins fired the one guy.
Flores?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian
Yeah, that
Flores,
was
that was weird.
that was a weird one too.
That was that came out of nowhere. It's like, man, why did fire that guy?
Maybe there's judging by like how he's reacting to it, maybe his personality wasn't too great.
Yeah.
Maybe it was like a diva thing. It was like a Dennis Rodman
Mhm.
situation.
this is completely unrelated. This could be the last thing we talk about, but music wise, I listen to Billy Joel a lot, and Clifton just looked over at my album. I I've taken a month-long break from listening to him, and today is the last day I'm taking a break from him. And this week, I've listened to like a bunch of different things. A couple days ago, I listened to like all female singers, just like spice it up.
Yeah.
And
Spice it up.
I listened to the Cranberries,
Good band.
Paramore,
Good band.
and you're not gonna like the last one, Carly Rae Jepsen.
Worst of the three, but okay.
Carly Rae actually has decent music, other than your.
Yeah,
least
she's
favorite song.
okay, but yeah.
And I also listened to Maroon 5 as well.
I like, I don't know, I want to kind of not like them, but
I hate their recent stuff.
Yeah.
But their old stuff's good.
Yeah, I want to not like them, but they made good stuff, so
Yeah.
you're like,
I asked Grayson yesterday, I was like, who do you hate more? Maroon 5 or, cause this is when the fucking, Imagine Dragons was playing in the store. I was like, do you hate the Imagine Dragons or Maroon 5? He was like, of course, Imagine Dragons, because Maroon 5 actually has good old stuff.
Yeah, I actually don't like Imagine Dragons.
At all?
Yeah.
I think I like a couple of their songs, but that's it.
I like the Bastille more.
Mm.
They made Pompeii.
Yeah.
A little more than Imagine Dragons to kind of make the same stuff, but I don't really like either of them. I just don't like
Remember when everyone liked Nickelback, and then they switched it, and then just switched to hating them?
Braden Smith still loves them. It's his favorite band.
Shout out to Braden Smith, the Romo Show.
View it every Friday.
Yeah.
Alright, like people just went from liking them to hating them so quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're pretty decent too. Like they haven't made terrible music.
What's your favorite musician, Nate? Favorite band / musician? Could be anything.
Well, see, I don't listen to the old stuff like you guys.
No, that's fine. I don't care.
I'm more of an R&B guy.
Juice WRLD.
Okay.
So I'll probably go. The biggest name in R&B is probably The Weeknd.
The Weeknd.
So
The Weeknd's good.
So that's probably be my favorite.
Holden's more diverse than I am. He likes all the new stuff and old stuff. Not new, but like
yeah. I mean, The Weeknd's good.
I like Kid Cudi too.
Though.
I like Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi's good.
Yeah, Kid Cudi's good. He's been around a while.
Yeah, he's been a while.
But I mean, The Weeknd, he's almost like a throwback because he's like a new taste on like 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've listened to some and it's not too bad.
Yeah, Blinding Lights, because I mean they played that song so many fucking times.
That song kind of gets on my nerves.
That song it's a good song, but they overplayed it.
Yeah, like a lot of his songs are good, but like they overplay it. But then then there's like stuff from like his very first albums that I like. From like there's just album. It's like he dropped like 3 mixtapes, but they're all like 10 songs each, and then he wrapped them up in one album.
Yeah.
That's probably one of my
there's a lot of musicians, like you said, Carly Rae, their most popular song is not their best. Like Carly Rae with Call Me Maybe, it's a good, I like it, it's okay, but it's her most popular and it's not her best.
Yeah,
she has better music. And obviously a bunch of stuff that's overplayed, like I don't know, what's another song that's really overplayed?
Oh man, I don't listen to like radio anymore.
Me
so
neither.
I don't listen to the radio.
So I wonder.
To be honest, you could throw the Imagine Dragons in there. There's
they're always
a bunch of their music.
They've always been overplayed.
That's why I've always never really liked.
I feel like their Imagine Dragons, their music's like kind of basic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very
generic.
Yeah, it's generic. I don't, because I like a lot of artists that put so much emotion into it. Which I mean, like. Billy Joel is someone that does. Billy Joel is.
See, I do like some of the older stuff, like
an Idol.
Like Billy Joel's good and Queen's good. I do like the Beatles, actually. I do.
The Beatles are good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand how someone could hate the Beatles. I can understand how you wouldn't like some of their stuff.
Yeah,
Grant just hates to hate.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like,
shut up.
But it's like, see, I like some of the Beatles, and it's like, yeah, it's like, I don't know, I listen to a lot more newer
Newer.
Newer.
At
Definitely
least
fair.
21st century. I'm
Because
not
of
gonna say
the-
newer, but 21st century.
Because of the stuff we
Which, I
grew
mean,
up
it's still a
with as
lot.
well.
Yeah.
22 years of music.
I don't blame you in the slightest, because that's how a lot of people view music over time. If you're looking at people who grew up in the 80s, they're going to
Yeah.
like that music. You're
Yeah.
growing up in the 2000s, you're going to like that music. So
Yeah.
it's completely understandable.
Yeah.
I'm just an old soul.
Yeah, I'd still say I like the 2000s the most, but the 80s, I would say, I don't even like the 80s the most. It's probably second.
I like
But
the
I think the
70s.
80s is the greatest music
Era.
genre
'Cause,
era.
You have Michael Jackson, you have
Yeah.
Yeah,
a
and then
bunch of stuff.
What it
And then-
did for music was just great.
Mhm.
yeah,
Even rap, early rap came in.
Early
there.
rap.
yeah,
So it was pretty damn good. And I think it was really good. It was like, I think, an improvement from the 70s because it took what made the 70s great and almost enhanced it.
Yeah.
And then the 90s, I think, dipped a bit. And then I think the 2000s shot up again. And we're in a 2010s in this weird new era is just a mix. Because, I mean, we can choose what we want to listen to.
I actually, looking back at the 2010s, I think I hated it during the time, but I actually come to understand it a bit more.
Yeah, it's had some, like, bangers, some...
yeah.
good music.
What I think is interesting is there's a lot less, like how in the 80s it was mostly like bands,
Mm-hmm.
like 80s, 90s, and maybe 2000s. It's like mostly bands. Now it's like the the mainstays are like people who are like solo.
Yeah, it's just
They
one.
don't. It's just
Yeah.
one person.
Bands are kind of hard to...
Come by.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
and plus like, let's be honest, ain't no one want to try and split all that money,
Yeah,
No.
unless you're pre-established. You
right?
can't
Unless you're
really-
pretty established. Like I'm not trying to split money with 5 other people.
Yeah.
The music kind of became popular in the 50s, and then you go
Yeah.
from there.
And since it's so, like, you used to have bands. Now you don't necessarily
Nope.
need bands to make
Or
a
like,
sound.
and it's like, and plus, it's harder to have a band now to make a crap ton of money than it was in the 80s. Because in the 80s, they're like selling. You had to actually go to a
Oh,
music
yeah.
store in like 80s, 90s, 2000s. You could sell an album for like $10.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it's like and then like we got the phones. I can go to
You could easily just.
I can go to
download it.
app.
Anyone.
Yeah, I can just
Yeah.
go and like just download stuff. It's like
Absolutely.
so. It's like they're not making that much money that
It's
way.
it was an
and then
easier
if you stream,
profession back then.
it's like not as profitable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now it's like it's almost more profitable to just be solo.
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
Good wrap up.
Yeah, good wrap
Yeah.
up.
This was a long one.
Yeah, not too bad, Nate.
Yeah.
Thank you for being on. Really
Thank you.
appreciate it.
You're welcome.
We'll see you when you see it.
Mm-hmm. We'll
Yep.
see you when we see you. Nate will be on another time in the future, but thanks for being on this one. See you guys next week.